Warren Newport Public Library. Today I'm going to talk about Armada by Ernest Cline. You may have heard of Ernest Cline. In 2011, he wrote a book called Ready Player One. It was a smash hit. It flew up the New York Times bestseller charts. And what's interesting about it is it's a science fiction book, and science fiction books don't often climb the charts that quickly or easily because there's not as big of a following for science fiction books. But it was a great book. I really loved it, and I recommend it all the time. It's about gaming, something that I'm not particularly interested in, and even still, I loved it. So I was really anxious to read his next book, which has just come out. So he hasn't written anything since 2011. This is anxiously awaited. Armada is about Zach Lightman. This is also science fiction, by the way, and also about gaming, and I loved it too. So Zach Lightman is a teenager. He's a good boy, he's a good student, he has a little bit of anger issues. He has a single mother. His father died when he was just a baby. He is a gamer, and he's really particularly good at a game called Armada. He's so good, in fact, that he has worked his way up the ranks, and he is 6th best player in the world. He has the 6th best score in the world. So that tells you what kind of time he devotes to this game. Meanwhile, he really wants to get to know his father and his father's memory. He feels like that is the big hole in his life. And luckily his mother has saved everything that his father had. His clothes, his journals, his music. And so Zach regularly goes through his father's old notebooks and tries on his clothes and that sort of thing. When he's going through his old journals, he sees that maybe his dad wasn't quite right. Like maybe his dad had some delusions because he thought that the government was using video games to train people to fight for them. And Zach, of course, thinks this is absurd, and this kind of gives him insight into what his father was like. Until he's in his bedroom, and one day he looks out his window, and there is a ship outside his window, exactly from the video game Armada. The ship quickly disappears, and he's convinced that he's crazy, right? He can't tell anyone, he's completely insane. Goes to bed, wakes up the next day, goes to school, and there's a ship again. Two suited men come out and say, "We're looking for Zach Lightman." Zach gets on the ship and very quickly realizes that the game Armada that he's been playing for years is real life, or at least it's training him for real life. This is a great book. It's funny, it's sweet, it's lighthearted. What Ernest Cline does well with science fiction, in my opinion, is he does a lot of his science fiction is sprinkled throughout the book, and it's in sections, so you still feel sort of grounded when you're reading it. You're able to suspend your belief in those parts because he gives you a juxtaposition. I really love Ernest Cline. If you've never read science fiction, or if you're interested in giving it a try, please check it out. Ernest Cline, Armada.